Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe on my YouTube so that we can grow and I'll upload more videos. So there's a question from grade 10 question paper June exam. This is part of paper 2, and this chapter is on analytic geometry. Okay, so yes, let's go through it. Remember, firstly, before you can even read the question, you should go through the statement that was given at the top, then look at your diagram, analyze your diagram, and know how to read your Cartesian plane. Okay, so the statement above, it says from the diagram below, A, we are given the coordinates which is -4 and -2, and B, which is 3 and 5, are given below the following, and we are given the diagram there. As you can see, we are given the coordinate of A, coordinate of B, coordinate of C, and coordinate of D. So when we look at the coordinate of A and B, we can see this is on the third quadrant. Remember, this is quadrant number 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So this is quadrant number B, it's on quadrant number 1, and A is on quadrant number 3. And if we can check D, this line, it touches the y-axis. So in another way, D, it is actually the y-intercept of this, right? And who can tell me what C is for? Okay, C is for the x-intercept. Why? Because it touches the x-axis, and that is where x is equals to y is equals to 0. Sorry. So remember, you have to know the difference between x-intercept and y-intercept, not only for grade 10. So you will do this chapter even in grade 11 and even in grade 12. So the sooner you know it now, the better. You'll do well in grade 10, of course, because of my channel. So make sure that you subscribe. But what you learn from here, make sure you don't forget it, because you will also get it in grade 11, just that they will add some details. Okay, so but if you would like us to work, hit me up on WhatsApp. The information will be on the description below this video. So question number 1, it says we should calculate the gradient of AB, and it's 3 marks. You see, so you when it comes to analytic geometry, you have to know the formulas. You have to know the formulas of a gradient, you have to know the formulas of a distance, you have to know the formulas of a midpoint, you have to know the formulas of, yes, we'll discover some along the way. Okay, so now let's calculate the gradient of AB. So the formula of a gradient, it says m is equals to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, right? So even if you do vice versa, when I say vice versa, I mean y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, that is still correct. Okay, because you will get the same answer. Okay, so now remember, this is from the original formula, right? So as a tutor, I make things easy for 2T, so I will also make things easy for you, the viewer. So instead of writing the formula like this, I will say, I won't change much. I will say gradient of AB is YB minus YA all over XB minus XA. You see? Yeah, so I don't say you should write the two of them. No, write it in this way. But you know it is this way, write it as this way, because it will be more easy for you, right? So now we'll look for the coordinate of A. What are they? No, the okay, let me explain this. This means the y coordinate of B, y coordinate of A, x coordinate of B, x coordinate of A. So what is the y coordinate of B? It was given as 5. Y coordinate of A, -2. So it's minus 2. We can say 5 minus 2. So we have to put the bracket, and you have to know the signs that a negative times a negative is positive. So this is the same as 5 plus 2 all over xb, we check xb. Xb it was given as 3, and xa it was given as -4. So even here we'll write -4. So like I said, a negative times negative is positive, so this is the same as plus. So it's like 7 divided by 7, which will give us 1. So the gradient of AB is 1. Okay, then you will get 3 marks. Remember, this question it carried 3 marks. So question number 2, which is 1.1.2, it says we should calculate the length of AB. Okay, it's still talk about AB, right? So but now this time it's not a gradient, it's the length. So for the length, we are going to use distance formula. So you have to know distance formula. Distance formula, remember on your question, actually on your book, it is written as d is equals to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, right? Yes, of course that is the original formula, but I'll make things easy for you. Okay, so we should be aware that this is the length of AB. So this is how I'm going to write the formula. D stands for distance, so I'm going to say distance of AB is equals to square root of xb. Why do I start with b? Why I say 2? Remember, this is AB. We take 1 as A, 2 as B. Does it make sense? Even on the previous answer that we did. Okay, so I think I didn't emphasize that part, sorry for that, but I hope you're all aware. So from there we'll say yb minus ya. So we already know those coordinates. So yb, it is actually, what is it? Yb, no, xb, sorry, 3, and xa minus 4. So we are going to say 3 minus -4, 3 minus -4 squared plus yb is 5 and ya is -2, so it's 5 minus 2. Yeah, so squared outside, right? Right, yes. So like I said, a negative times negative is positive, so this is the same as plus. So it's like 3 plus 4, which is 7, 5 plus 2, which is 7 again. So, and from here it's up to you. Okay, so it's either you go on by saying 7 squared, which is 49, 49 plus 49, or you just press it on your calculator the way as it is, then you will get your marks. Okay, so by then, let me take it step by step, perhaps for those who don't understand quickly. Okay, so 3 minus -4 is 7, but 7 squared, so we are going to have 7 squared. This part also, this is the same as 5 plus 2, or 5 minus -2, it's 7, which is 7 squared, and 7 squared is 49 plus 49, right? So 49 plus 49, I don't think we need a calculator for this one. Remember, we can do it on our side and say this will be 18 carry 1 8 9 98. So which means we are going to have a square root of 98. Square root of 98, this is not a perfect square, this is a side, so we'll have our answers as decimal, so you have to press this on your calculator. So after you press it on your calculator, you'll find that the answer is 9,99. Remember, you have to round off your answer to 2 decimal places, right? So that's it. Easy, right? So let's move on to the next question. The next question, it says you should calculate the midpoint of AB. Just like I said at the beginning of this video, you have to know all these formulas. You have to know the formula of a gradient, you have to know the formula of a distance, you have to know the formula of a midpoint, right? Because if you don't know those formulas, you won't be able to answer this question. You won't be able to answer this question. That's what I can tell you. So you better listen now than later, right? So let's use the midpoint formula now. Okay, let me write it down. Oh, I don't have enough space, so let me move into the next page. Okay, we are on the next page. So this is 1.1.3. So remember the midpoint formula. So even from your book, it was written they usually use 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So I hope at this point you guys noticed how I use those 1 and 2s when I'm referring to this coordinate. For A, we are going to substitute it where we see 1. For B, we will substitute it where we see 2, right? So midpoint formulas, we know it starts with the x values. So we are going to say x at A plus x at B all over 2, then y at A plus y at B all over 2. And here we can say midpoint of AB, right? So from here we are going to say, okay, now let's look at our midpoint. X at A we said is -4, x at B we said is 3, right? 3, yes. From there, y at A is -2 and y at B is 5. From there we have to divide by 2. So the sad part about mathematics is if you do a mistake with one sign, your answer will be wrong. Especially if you do mistake on your first step, you'll get 0. You'll get 0, okay? So some of these learners, when we ask them how was the paper, they will say the paper was easy, only to find out that they substituted the right values but the wrong sign, so that affect everything. So that's the sad part about mathematics. So as a med student or learner, you should be aware of this, okay? Yeah, so this part you can also press it on your calculator exactly as it is. By then -4 plus 3, it will give us -1. So it is -1 over 2, and -3 plus 5 is going to give us +3 over 2. Alright, so yes, this is our coordinates, but we are not done. We can still divide this, but they will give us decimal. So this one, when you press it on your calculator, remember, and it has it has a negative answer, so our answer will be -1,5. Then even this one, 3 over 2, when we press it on our calculator, I think we will get, is it 1 over 5 still? Let's press it on our calculator. I just press it now. I found out that no, this one is actually -0,5 and this one is 1,5. So be aware of this. There's a coordinate. So when you have decimal, make sure that there is a just a comma, and this one it's another sign. Okay, it's another symbol. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I hope you all understand this. This is a midpoint of AB, right? So let's go to the next question. Yeah, so 1.2, it says use the diagram below with a point A. Point A, it is given as -3 and -4 to answer the following questions. And we are given a sketch there. So who can tell me what R is for? If you know, comment down below right now. Okay. So I want to see your comments. I want to see the comments. Let's engage. Let's engage. And if you would like me to do other questions that you have and maybe you don't understand and you would like them to see here as a video, let me know in the comment section. And if you want us to work, hit me up on WhatsApp. I do both online session and face-to-face sessions. So I'm in Northwest, so make sure you check me out. But online session are also great. I also work with primary learners, not only high school. So let's work. You'll see progress for sure. So yes, let's get into the question. So you always have to use what is given, because they give you what they have to give you to answer the question. They don't give you this information for no reason. So hence I always encourage learners to practice, to go through what is given before you can actually answer the question. Because the good part is, if you went through what is given and you understand what is given to a, like, you have a deep understanding of what is given, You won't take time even when you answer your questions. That's what I can tell you, and that's the good part about mathematics. And what I like about mathematics is you can cope, you can cheat. So that's why I like it. No, if you got 50, you got 50. That's for you, and you should not be happy with the 50%. Even 60. I mean, 60 is average. At least 75, if not distinction. 75 is almost a distinction, but we want good marks, We want 100%. We don't aim for low. Okay, so, and when I'm tutoring you, I will also encourage you. I don't just teach you. But yes, you have to pay for my time. Remember, I stop everything, then I attend you. So, and it's a one-on-one session, so my focus will be on you. So yes, make sure you check me out. So 1.2.1, it says determine the value of r. All right, so as we can see on the diagram, we have letter r. So I asked what letter r is for. Did you guys comment? Make sure you comment. Okay, so at this moment, I hope you all commented, and the value of r, we don't know it, but we can tell that it is a hypotenuse. And remember, this is an x value, this is a y value. R will be the hypotenuse. Another thing that you should know about the hypotenuse is the hypotenuse is always a positive number. If you do maths, then you calculate the hypotenuse, then you get your answer is negative. Just know that your answer is wrong. I'm not saying your whole calculation is wrong. Sometimes what makes it wrong, it might be a sign. Okay, so be careful when you do mathematics. And if you're not sure about your answers, recheck. It's important. Okay, right. So we have 1.2.1. We have to calculate r. So at this moment, we can use the theorem of Pythagoras to calculate r, because only r will be unknown, and you only use the theorem of Pythagoras when you have one unknown. And yes, I know they didn't show us that there's a right angle triangle, but if we make a line like this, you will notice that this is a right angle triangle. Remember, you don't just use the theorem of Pythagoras, you use it only when you have a right angle triangle, right? So this is a formula for theorem of Pythagoras. Where we see x, we substitute -3. Where we see 4, we substitute. Okay, I don't want to waste time on this, because I hope you guys already know this. You can't do grade 10 without knowing the theorem of Pythagoras. It's not possible. It's not possible. I hope you all know it. So this will give us 9 plus 16, which is r squared, and if we add them, we'll get 25 r squared. Then from here, we divide both sides by 5. But remember, when you square both sides, it's going to be plus or minus, okay? But then, like I said, hypotenuse, which is r, is always a positive number. So there's no way that you can leave this answer as r is 5 or -5. It can't be -5. So therefore, our r is equals to 5. You see? As easy as that. So let's go to the next question. The next question, which is 1.2.2. 1.2.2, it says calculate the value of cos theta and tan theta. And on the sketch there we have theta, so which means this triangle is what we will have to use. So, but you will have to use it well, right? So remember, this is the x value, this is the y value, this is the hypotenuse, right? So you should remember also the ratios. SOHCAHTOA, somebody call it SOHCAHTOA. I don't know what do you all call it, but most learners, they call it SOHCAHTOA, right? So you have to know trig ratios at this point. So the one for cos, remember, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and adjacent, which is actually the x value. So the x value from the diagram that we are given is -3, and the hypotenuse, which is the r value, which is 5. So this is our answer for cos. Then for tan, we are going to have tan theta, which is equals to, you also have to know the formula for tan. So formula for tan, remember, it's soka to OA. So it's opposite over adjacent. Opposite, which is y, and our y is -4. Opposite over adjacent, a is -3. By then, -3 and -4, when we divide them, we are going to get 4/3. So that's it. You see? So I don't know, maybe even this one you can leave it as, remember this one, when you press it on your calculator, you will get -3/5, which is the same as this one. So I don't think they can not give you marks even if you leave it like this. Okay, so that's it, 2 marks. So that means that shows us that it's 1 mark for each. And the last one, which is 1.2.3, it says prove that cos theta multiply, remember that means multiply, this point, great terms, some of the things I don't have to say them, when you are in standard 8, this is a dot. Cos theta times tan theta multiply, I say times and multiply, but they mean one and the same thing. So for that, cos theta multiplied by tan theta multiplied by sec theta is equals to 4/3, right? You have to prove. Okay, so we are going to take those trig ratios, multiply them, and we have to get 4.4/3. So that's how we can prove it. So by then, you have to know the cosec. What? Not cosec, sec, sorry. That is sec. Okay, so we have, let me write the number, that number first. Remember, we should go according to the numbering system. Multiply by tan theta multiply by sec theta. I like the way this examiners ask this question, because yes, for cos and tan, everybody will get it right. But for sec, not everybody will get it right. And I like that. I like it when a question is challenging. I like it. Even when I get a question that challenge me, that actually drives me, not easy questions. But at this moment, I don't think there's a math question that is difficult for me, because some of this question, I can even tell you the answer without even solving it, by just looking at it. That sounds crazy, right? Yes, but it's possible. Okay, so you have to know what sec is for. So before we can answer this question, I want to take you to something. Let me take this part as part of the scribbler. We have so ka to a, right? You all know this. Not all, but majority of you. Some they call it, there's different ways. Okay, so by then it is what it is. Okay, so I usually do this and say this one is for cosec, sec, and cot. Right? So this makes you easy for you to remember. And remember, cosec, sec, cot is the opposite of this. For example, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, but cosec will be hypotenuse over opposite. So you have to know it in this way. So by then, here we have cosec, but we are not given angles. We have the x value, y value, and the r value, right? So we will have to use the diagrams that we have. So we have x, we have y, we have r. Our r, which is 5, we calculated it on 1.2.1. So where I see cos, I will say, okay, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So, or I can make it more easy for you by saying this one, it will be adjacent, which is x over r, multiplied by tan, which is opposite over adjacent, remember is to, which is y over our adjacent, multiplied by, now cosec. I like it. Now it's cosec. So cosec, it relates to cos. But then we'll have to swap this. So remember this one, it is actually x over r. So by then we are going to have r over x. You see? So from here, we are going to substitute our x value, which is -3, right? And our r is 5. Multiply by, I think at this point we can just write multiply. Okay, so y it is negative, what is it, -4, right? Yes, it's -4. And our x is -3. Multiply by our r is 5 as we calculated it, and our x is -3. Do you all understand at this point? I hope you do. I hope you do. I hope you do. And this is 2 marks. So since it's 2 marks, from here you can just press it on your calculator exactly as it is. Then you'll get your answer as 4/3. So that's it. That's it. That's how you prove it. Okay, so yes, this is the end of our video. And I appreciate you for watching this video. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I do lessons. At this moment, I do one-on-one session, but I'm planning to start group lessons. So if you would like to join, if you would like to hear more information, kindly text me on WhatsApp. Text me on WhatsApp and I will communicate with you. And yes, you will enjoy math when you work with me. When everybody's complaining while they are going to write math, you'll be just smiling. You will end up saying that math is easy. And it's definitely easy. But you have to understand and you'll enjoy and you have to practice. How can you know maths while we can go a week without practicing maths? How can you know maths very well when you can go 4 days without practicing maths? How do you expect to master these chapters while you don't practice? Yes, I'm tutoring you, but that doesn't mean that's the end point. Yes, I will tutor you. You will ask question. I will question you even during the session. I don't just listen to you when you say you understand. Okay, yes, you understand, but if I give you a question, I expect you to get them right because you understand. So in that way, that will show me that you understand. Okay, so hit me up on WhatsApp. My price list differ according to the grades, so it depends what grade you do. So, but then this is for grade 10, but I don't only do FET. I actually tutor from grade 1 to mathematics, engineering, and 4. So even if you upgrade, we can work. You're welcome. So even if you have a sibling or maybe the other person, your neighbor, which is a young person, maybe your neighbor is doing grade 1, 2, or 3, and you think those people need lessons, and you might find out that my location is not near by your place, you can hit me up. We can work on WhatsApp. I worked with a grade 1 learner before. I work with a grade 3 and grade 4 this year, and not only once. And yes, but I realized that some people doubt online session, especially when it comes to primary learners. But for the fact that you can be there for your child, you can monitor your child so that he or she doesn't lose focus. But my lessons are the best I can deal with any kind of learner. So at the beginning, you can pay for few sessions. So from there, you'll decide. So what I know is when we do few sessions from there, you will keep working up until for the whole term. Then you'll definitely see progress. And I'm training. Like, I mean, when I tutor, I make sure that the learner knows. So next time your child doesn't come back and say, I don't understand this while I taught him the very same thing. No, that won't happen. That never happened before. If I teach you something, I make sure that you know it. Okay, so yes, I appreciate everybody who watch these videos, and please subscribe, hit notification bell, share this video to your friends and family and people who you think they need this. And thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye.